Yo, Beast from the East, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Lights Out. I'm Faisal Khan, joined by Spencer Fearon. We're here at Westfields for the Dillian Whyte Joseph Parker public workout. Spencer, how you doing?
I'm really good, you know. Fast, even better for seeing you, my friend. I didn't know your surname was Khan, you know.
Yeah?
I didn't know where they're from Pakistan, your family.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Alright.
Okay. Listen, we've got a cracking night of boxing to look forward to on Saturday night. How excited are you to see Dillian Whyte get in the ring with Joseph Parker? Yeah,
really excited. It's been a long time coming because we've always been screaming out since the Anthony Joshua fight to get big opponents or big name opponents, and it would have been difficult. There have been certain guys who priced themselves out, certain guys that it wasn't feasible for him to look at, like a rematch with Derek Chisora. Even as a fan, for the fans, that'd be an excellent fight. But then, so all of these things, this is an excellent fight for him. This is an excellent fight because this is what he wanted. He wanted to be up against somebody, and now he's got a chance to be up against someone. And he's been up against a former world champion who's only lost against Anthony Joshua. And on points.
What type of a fight do you think we're gonna get on Saturday night? Because a lot of people are saying that they're not expecting Joseph Parker to come out of his shell this time, like he did against Anthony Joshua.
Come out of his what?
Come out of his shell. Like a lot of people say he did not really go for Anthony Joshua, especially in the later rounds.
Well, the thing about it is this is like he was dubious of attacking, because as soon as you start to attack, you throw a shot, you leave yourself susceptible to getting hit with a shot. So he didn't want to attack Anthony Joshua. I don't think he will have that same fear factor of a Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte is not actually noted as a massive puncher. He can hit hard enough. We saw that in his last fight against Lucas Brown, but Dillian Whyte's not that concussive one-punch knockout eyes, but he hits hard enough to let you know what time of day it is.
Which fight do you think is more under pressure? You've got Joseph Parker, who's just lost his world title, and you've got Dillian Whyte, who's not far off a world title.
Who's the pressure on? Well, it's a kind of weird one, because here's one man still trying to fight to still stay in the picture, and here's one man who needs the win to be a bigger picture. So it depends. But you know what? I'm really looking forward to the fight. I've got Dillian Whyte winning this fight. I think he's the man who's more hungrier and got the more desire. So I'm picking Dillian Whyte to win this fight. And not only that, but Dillian Whyte has never been frightened of Joseph Parker at all. I remember when Joseph Parker fought Takam, and he did the commentary in the studios. We're going back like 2.5 years now. He did the commentary in the studio with Johnny Nelson, and he said this guy's rubbish, right? And he really meant it, that this guy's rubbish. Like he doesn't see nothing of him. So, and whereas Joseph Parker is not the hardest hitter as well. So Dillian Whyte is going to take more chances, and it's going to be a really good technical fight. But I've got Dillian Whyte winning the fight, because I think not only that, but Joseph Parker's been to the mountaintop. Been to the mountaintop, he's been world champion. In New Zealand, he's a god.
Yeah.
I just want you to realise that he's a god out there, right? So, and Johnny Nelson was saying to me earlier, it's like the fanfare for Joseph Parker in Australia in New Zealand is like what Anthony Joshua receives over here. So he's very, very big. So I'll be looking at Dillian Whyte because he's hungrier and he's got a very, very good technical boxing brain, and because of that, I've got him winning the fight.
Obviously, you mentioned the Takam fight. Joseph Parker's also fought Andy Ruiz, Hughie Fury, Anthony Joshua as well. They've never really been fights that have made you think, wow, Joseph Parker is an actual decent fighter.
Well, I don't know. I think, like, in saying that, that's me showing discredit to Andy Ruiz and Hughie Fury. I thought Hughie Fury put up a gallant effort. And Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. Andy Ruiz technically is very, very sound. So it's how you pick him. But now more than ever, seeing him go 12 rounds with Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua is like the adjudication board. So you're thinking, well, if you went, them other guys did quite good then. If you think about it, because he went 12 with Josh. You know what I mean? He wasn't really hurt.
Hughie Fury.
Right. Went 12 with Hughie Fury. Hughie Fury is a very good up-and-coming fighter. Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter as well. I rate Andy Ruiz skill-wise. He's got a very good technical set. But my guy is Dillian Whyte, man. I got Dillian Whyte winning this fight and looking supremely impressive.
If this fight goes the distance, do you think it favours Joseph Parker more or Dillian Whyte more?
It favours Dillian Whyte. Joseph Parker's, we've seen in Joseph Parker, like, there's been a little dip in him, especially in the Anthony Joshua fight, where he could have went for it. Do you understand? He could have went for it, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And it was like he just succumbed to saying, okay, then I'm just going to last out these rounds. There was no urgency in his work. I know if it's the other way around now, and like Dylan, it's round 9, and you know what? We're losing on points. I know Dylan Whyte's going to try and do something. And it's that difference, it's that drive, that motivation that Dylan Whyte has, why I got him winning the fight.
Anthony Joshua goes up against Alexander Povetkin in September.
Great fight.
Great fight.
Good fight.
Do you think a lot of people are overlooking Alexander Povetkin at the moment?
Well, they shouldn't. I'm telling you that now. The guy is, a former Olympic champion. He's very well scored. He's only got one loss on his record, and that was on points to Vladimir Klitschko. He's no Muppet. He's very, very sound, strong, and technically he knows what he's doing. So all coupled all of that, it's not an easy fight. But in saying that, Anthony Joshua clapping with that right hand, you don't know what Anthony Joshua could do to him. Yeah. But the guys never. We saw him get wobbled against David Price. I believe that David Price can hit that pillar over there and most probably create a dead. So we can't look on the David Price fight and look on anything like David Price can punch. Right? I would say single punch for punch, I think David Price hits harder than Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. But
Anthony Joshua has bludgeoning power as well as that snappy, and he's just got to revert back to type. I see it's been a great fight, but I see that Anthony Joshua late stoppage.
We've got another good fight on this card as well in the heavyweight division, Chisora Takam. Is this a fight where if Derek Chisora loses, perhaps that's it, game over, and maybe look at retiring?
You know what? I'd rather not try and write off Derek Chisora. I think it's excellent that he's taking a challenge like this because it is an immense challenge. And obviously he would have sat down with his team, him and Don Charles. Don Charles is very studious of the sport and would have looked at this maybe we can have this guy, you know? And we beat him and we're gonna be right back in the mix. And I think that's what he's trying to do, and fair play for him for taking this fight. It's not an easy fight.
Predictions for the fight, Chisora Takam?
I would slightly favour Takam, but you never know. Someone like Derek Chisora, you just can't write him off.
Do you think it's got the potential of perhaps being maybe one of the fights of the night? Because I look at it, I think it's a very interesting fight. It could be a fight
it's an excellent fight. It's an excellent fight. And styles make fights, and their style will gel because their style is very, very similar.
Yeah.
Like it's come forward aggression, right? I'm looking forward to that fight.
Okay. And Spencer, listen, we've taken up enough of your time as it is.
Man, that's enough, man. Mr. Khan, carry on doing what you're doing, man. All right? Big up yourself.
Thank you very much. Talk to lights out.
Well, man. And 5 guys make the best non-bubble drinks.